Hey girls and boys, it's Mr. McAndrew, the math coach. Super excited because this week we are going to continue your work with the properties of multiplication, and it applies to division, but it's more about multiplication. Turns out these properties are like really useful. In particular, the commutative property, which is like 2 times 5 is the same as 5 times 2. Like if you know 5 times 2, then you already know 2 times 5. If you know that 6 times 7 is 42, then you also know that 7 times 6 is 42. It is 42, by the way. All right, so today we're going to start with commutative property. Tomorrow we're going to get into distributive, and then we're going to close it out with associative. I mean, like, do we have a week for you? So let's get this party started. Okay. So let's get my little thing out of here. Let's take an example of the commutative property, which basically says if you switch the two factors when you multiply, you'll still get the same product. The product is the answer to a multiplication problem, okay? So we all know what 5 times 2 is, right? It's 10. And we all know that 2 times 5 is 10. So we know it's equal, but are we sure? Can we prove it? Does it make sense? So let's try it with equal groups. So for example, if I have 5 groups of 2 penguins, let's see what that looks like, okay? I got my handy dandy math app. Have you seen this? I'll put the link in there. It's pretty cool. So let's say I click on blue, and I'm going to make 5 groups. All right, 5 groups. Let's get me out of the way here. Put me over here. I'm going to make 5 groups of 2 penguins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, hopefully that's big enough. So we'll make 1 group of 2 penguins. Oh, hey buddy, where are you going? We'll make 2 groups of 2 penguins, which is 4. We'll make 3 groups of 2 penguins, which is 6. What did I just say? 3. Yeah, 3 groups of 2 penguins, which is 6. 4 groups of 2 penguins, which is 8. And then now we have our 5 groups of 2 penguins, which we can see is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so we just did 5 times 2. All right, now what if we have 2 groups of 5 penguins? Does it still work? All right, well, let's find out. So let's do 2 groups of 5 penguins. It's going to be bigger groups, right? So look at this. I click on here. It gives me 5 in a row. Boom. And boom. All right. So here we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 penguins, right? So we have 2 plus 2 more plus 2 more plus 2 more plus 2 more. And that equals 10. All right, so down here, let's change it up here. Let's do yellow. We have 5 penguins and then 5 more penguins. But that also equals 10. Does 10 equal 10? You better believe it, okay? Yes, of course it does. So you can see that it looks different, right? Because it is different. 5 groups of 2 does not look the same as 2 groups of 5. So one answer to that question is no, it's not exactly the same, because 5 groups of 2 looks different than 2 groups of 5. But is the product the same? Yes. The answer to both of those multiplication problems is 10. Okay? All right, so let's take one more look at this. All right, so what if I did this? What if I had 2 dice and I rolled them? Okay? And I got, I'm going to roll them. All right, I get, oh my Lord, 8 and 9. Those are too big right now. I'm not ready for that. All right, 8 and 4. That's more like it. Okay, so I'm going to put 4 here and 8 here. So that tells me I have 4 groups of 8. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 8. So I have 8 here, 8 here, 8 here, and 8 here. So 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 8 is 24, plus 8 is 32. So 4 times 8 equals 32. All right, so watch this though. What if I swap them and now I did 8 times 4? Okay. All right, so now I have 8 groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I've got 4 in each. So let's add them up. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. So we also know that 8 times 4 equals 32. So there's your commutative property. 4 times 8 is the same as 8 times 4. Okay, we can prove it in many different ways, including on the number line, which is what we did last week. Okay, so in your math packet, I revised it a little bit. Okay, in your math packet, you want to take out the paper that says over and under. All right, and then you need 2 dice, and you need your marker and an eraser. Okay, and once you have that, then come on back. So pause the video, get your materials, and then come on back. I'll see you in a minute. All right, so you want to put that in your dry erase sleeve, just like I have it, so we don't write all over the paper. Okay, so remember how to play this. You roll the dice. Okay, this time I got a 6 and a 1. I'm going to re-roll the 1 because oh my gosh, I got a 1 again, boys and girls. All right, I want a different number to, oh my, 3 times I got a 1. Unbelievable, unbelievable. Any other number I want. Okay, a 5. All right, now we're talking. Okay, so remember what you do is you do 6 hops of 5. Okay, so we're going to do 6 hops of 5. So we're going to do 1 hop, which is 5. 2 hops is 10. 3 hops is 15. 4 hops is 20. 5 hops is 25. And then 6 hops is 30. All right? I think actually we should use our dot dice, right? Because this number line is going to run out of room real quick. It's okay. We're good for now. So we can also do, now remember, we're doing the commutative property, right? So is 5 times 6, oops, put it in the wrong spot. Is 5 times 6 also 30? Let's find out. Let's do 5 hops of 6. So I want to hop to 6. Okay, another hop would get me to 12. Another hop would get me to 18. And if you're not sure, you can just count, right? You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that gets me to 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, it gets me right to 30. Look at that. Pretty cool, right, boys and girls? 6 hops of 5 is the same as 5 hops of 6, and we just proved it right there. Okay? All right, so then, remember you've got your recording sheet, so what you would do is you would just write down, once you've done that, you would just write down on your recording sheet, you did it 1 time, so you'd write down, oh, I did 6 times 5 is the same as 5 times 6, which is equal to 30. Okay? And then you go back, you erase it, and then do it again. Okay? This is great practice for learning your multiplication facts and understanding the commutative property. It's fantastic. Okay, I want you to pause the video, please, and finish this activity right now, and then come back and I have one more fun thing for you to do. Okay? Pause the video, finish this up, so you should have, there's 5 of them, so you should do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can use the first one that I did if you want, so then you got 4 more. Okay? All right, I'll see you in a minute or in a few minutes, but don't come back until you've done this activity. All right, see you soon. Bye-bye. All right, boys and girls, how did that go? Did it go well? You're getting the hang of it? It's good for practicing skip counting, right? And if you can't remember what, like, I don't know, like 3 times 8 is, but you can always remember what 8 times 3 is, then you don't need to know 3 times 8 because you already know it. It's 24 because you already know that 8 times 3 is 24. So if you know one of those facts, you know the other one, okay? All right, so now you want the paper that says turn the rectangles. This is our last activity for today. Okay, so we're going to take our dice. You can use the dot dice or if you have dot dice, but these are fine, okay? I like these. They're cool. They're colorful. So you roll them. All right, so I got a 5 and a 6. Again, let's do something different. Let's shake it up a little bit here. Okay, a 5 and a 3. Okay, and so what it says is, draw a rectangle with the length and width of the dice. So the way you can think of that is 5 rows of 3. Or you can do 3 rows of 5. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter to me. I'm going to do 5 rows of 3, okay? So I'm going to do 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So I'm going to do that once. I'm going to do that until I have 4 rectangles. If you need more rectangles, there are more on this page. If you need more grid paper. Okay? So don't do the one that I just did. I'm just showing you how to do it. So for example, if I roll again, I got a 6 and a 4. Okay, so I could do 6 rows of 4 or 4 rows of 6. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do 4 rows of 6. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I have enough? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. All right, so that's 2 rectangles. You need to have 4 rectangles. All right, once you have 4 rectangles, I want you to cut them out with scissors. Okay? If you don't have scissors, you can just tear them carefully, not the end of the world, okay? But ideally, you would use scissors and you would cut them out. All right, that's what I'm going to do. So pause the video, okay? When I say go, I want you to pause the video, create 4 rectangles using your dice. All right? If you can't find your dice, you should have your dice. Just draw 4 rectangles, different rectangles, and then cut them out. All right? I'll see you in a minute once you've done that. All right, so these are the 4 rectangles that I have. Yours probably look different. Some might be big, small. They might be more vertical or horizontal. It doesn't matter. You have 4 rectangles, okay? So the next paper that you need, the last one you need for today, is it's a recording sheet. It says, turn the rectangles recording sheet. So let's take the first rectangle that I worked on, which is this one, okay? I'm going to put the other ones off to the side. All right, so if you need time to get this from your math packet, please go ahead and do that now. Pause the video. You need this. It says turn the rectangles recording sheet Monday. All right, so here's what we do. We're going to write down how many rows, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So I'd write that down. 5 rows of 3 equals 15, because I counted 15. Okay, I went 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. All right, now, watch what I do. This is the fun part. I'm going to turn it just one time, 90 degrees, like this. Like this. Woo. So now, instead of being up like this, it's going to be laying down like this. So now, boys and girls, how many rows do I have? I have 1, 2, 3 rows. And how many are in each row? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, 10, 15. I get the same exact answer. Okay, proving once again the commutative property, which is that if you know that if 5 times 3 is 15, then 3 times 5 must be 15. Okay? So you're going to take each of these rectangles, the ones that you have, okay, and you're going to do the same thing that I just did. If you have one that looks like this, because I kept rolling a 1, okay, you have 1 row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 6, gives me 6. But if I turn it like this, now I have 6 rows of 1, also gives me 6. Okay, and then you would do the same thing with your other 2 rectangles. The last thing I'm going to tell you is this. Hold on to your rectangles because we're going to use them tomorrow when we do the distributive properties. Don't get rid of your rectangles, okay? But you want to fill this in, all right, the same way that I'm doing it. You fill it in, you turn it, and then you write the next. You fill in the next row, and you'll see that 1 row of 6 is the same as 6 rows of 1. All right, boys and girls, great job. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.